deal?
That's Indian lore.
Really? So and so you guys have all passed the courses on this and done your thing, right? I don't see too many merit badges with you, Joe.
No, you don't.
You know? But those are sharp-looking uniforms. Do you folks march in parades and whatnot?
We do. We do. We think that's an important part of scouting, and sometimes it's one of those things that gets that gets forgotten to show the community that scouting is very much alive, and especially to our minds, Memorial Day, Veterans Day. That's when you really need to be out there and showing your support.
Right. Well, I noticed at the new flagpole at the South Common, how they had the ceremony and everything, and I know the Boy Scouts played an integral part in that.
Yeah, these two boys were both there at that.
Okay, raising the flags
raising
up.
The flags,
yeah. Matter of fact, I was there with my dogs, and you guys were cranking on that thing. And
a lot of flags.
I had talked to Mark Cook about that, and Mark Cook was over there, and not only that, but Mark Cook is in our studio tonight. We're going to be talking to him in a little bit. But he was saying how, cranking those flags up there was quite a chore.
It was more, I think, more than anybody anticipated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's pretty high up there.
Yeah.
So that's good. So you guys you guys look pretty sharp out there, and that you played an integral part in that. That's good that you do that for the community.
Because the Boy Scouts are an organization that does a lot of community service.
Oh, they
it's
do.
an important part. They do flag retiring ceremonies. They're one of the, I think, 3 organizations only that are allowed to do flag retirement ceremonies. And there was one here in Mansfield Common last year, and our council held one. And this year they moved it to Attleboro. They had an Attleboro this year. It's a real nice ceremony.
Yeah,
it's a really nice ceremony. It's done right. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's people forget. I mean, people busy. You don't just throw a flag out. There's a proper procedure, and it's a very established procedure. It's a historic procedure.
Yep.
And basically the Boy Scouts, that's a chore that the Boy Scouts gladly do. Proudly do.
Proudly. Anybody comes, anybody has a flag that they need to retire, and this is a good, I guess, public service announcement. They have a flag that's worn and tattered. It shouldn't be flown if it's tattered, and it should be folded respectfully. As you know, a flag should never touch the ground. And contact any of the Boy Scout organizations in town. Any of us will be more than happy. Even I'm sure if they got it to anybody, even with the town, it's going to find its way to us. The Veterans Organization, one of those groups will take care of the flag properly.
Wow. You just gave me an idea, and maybe of course it's going to be, it doesn't feel like it, but technically it's going to be winter shortly. When the good weather comes back, maybe we can do a live shot we'll do a color ceremony.
Well, these boys, I tell you, they would love to, because they bought for themselves, they bought a teepee, and it is fantastic. It is an 18-foot diameter teepee, and we camp with it. And our last trip, it was 20 degrees on the Friday night, and Saturday night was a little bit warmer, barely. But they had, because it's flame retardant, it's made for it. They had a fire. They have a fire pit, and they had a fire inside of it. It was about 50 degrees inside that teepee. The Scoutmaster and I weren't so fortunate in our tent, but it's a great, it's a fun time. The boys really enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, maybe we should do that and show the people the proper way to do this. And I'm sure we can work it out. We got some friends at Town Hall, and matter of fact, our good friend Selectman Olivier Kozlowski, who is also here tonight.
Funny how that works.
It is, isn't it? No pressure. It's all right.
No, none.
But you don't want to upset these young men, so.
No.
No, so maybe, why don't we do that? Why don't we, when the weather gets better, we'll get some scouts together, we'll get some able bodies here, and we'll do the ceremony, we'll, show what it's like, and so people can see, and, see what goes into it, and do it right, and
Sure.
It's because it's a beautiful ceremony, and we take pride in our flag, we take pride in our country, right? So we're gonna do that now. One more time, Christmas trees for sale, all sizes, shapes, popular prices, competitive prices,
yeah,
okay, great selection. Route 106 down near the All About You Day Spa in Foxborough, so it's just on the Mansfield-Foxborough line in 106, down near the soccer place, and okay, and the hours again.
Monday through Friday, 5 to 8. Saturday, 9 to 8. Sunday, 11 to 8.
Excellent. And I want to thank Joe DeTrolio from Troop 7, and also our good scout friends Dante and Ben. You're not off the hook yet, So I'm just letting you know, okay? And we're going to let these guys, they're going to do the Boy Scout oath, okay? So we're going to do that for the good people, and then we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Mark Cook from the Highway Department. We got some cool things to talk about Mark with. So we're going to do the Boy Scout oath, okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Why don't you guys go ahead? Look, you can look. You know.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Excellent job, and you've done a good job with these gentlemen, and you take your scouting seriously, and believe me, it's you know, even at my age, and I remember all the cool things we did with scouting, and you know, and it's funny, people that you meet. I did a merit badge for a mile swim one time.
That's tough.
And actually the scout leader who supervised that wasn't part of our troop, but he was doing the mile swim. He went on to be President George W. Bush's press secretary, Andrew Card.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, and I still have his signature signing my mile swim card.
Wow.
So you never know. You know, you're young now and you see scouts and everything, but you know what? And they always say scouting builds character, and scouting does this. Well, it does. Okay, so it's really important. You know, I think it's very good that you fellas are doing this, and this will be an experience you'll have with you for the rest of your life. So enjoy every minute of it. And you have nice people like Mr. DeTrolio here that donate their time for a real good cause, and I really appreciate that, Joe. You know, from one scout to another.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay, there's no ex-scouts, only former ones.
Yep.
Okay, so good luck, and if you need a Christmas tree, you're gonna go see the good guys at Troop 7.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll be right back with Mark Cook from the Mansfield Highway Department. And just like that, we're back. Only this time, now we have our favorite highway guru, Mr. Mark Cook, coming in. How you doing, Mark?
Good.
Long time?
Thanks for having me back.
Busy guy?
Absolutely.
All right, and we want to do a couple of things with you while we get some extra time. We want to make sure that we had talked about doing the winter snow removal, snow budget, snow business, and just update on some of the projects you guys have been cramming to get done before the cold weather sets in, which you have been very lucky.
We have.
Except for the little surprise snowstorm, which was a good little tune-up for you guys.
Caught everyone.
Caught everyone, but you know what? You guys did a real good job and made short work of a real mess. And again, just, you know, we've had some weather issues here between the hurricane and the snowstorm with all the leaves on the trees and the MMED, and everybody's praising. And you know what? But Mark's department also was very intricate and had a lot. You know, they were all. It's a team effort, and it goes. And it's not just it's not just the guys out there, but it's the people coordinating and handling the emergencies. And it's just nice. You know, it's easy to complain when it doesn't work, but it's awful nice when it really worked really good around here, and it didn't work so good for a lot of our neighbors. So. You know, guys are walking proud.
Yeah, we're trying.
So, anyways, so give us an update on a couple of your projects right now. You're winding that down for the year right now, for the season.
Yes, we are. We're trying to close up the projects. We've just finished pouring all the sidewalks on Route 106.
Okay, that's from North Main to Hope Street?
To Hope Street, correct.
Yep. So that job's basically finished shortly?
For the sidewalk. The road's finished paved.
Yep.
The end of next week, we should be putting all new striping down, all new lines. We have a totally different configuration that's going to be happening up there.
Oh, nice.
We're extending a left turn lane further down towards Lance.
Yep.
To allow more queuing over on that side.
That's good.
That should help out the traffic in the area.
It will. You know, I know the other end has been a problem going the other way. They put one other sign down, but I think they need another stripe down there, because everybody seems to come up to the left-hand lane and then scoot over to the right.
Exactly.
After they've cut everybody off.
Well, we've come up with something. The Town of Mansfield Engineering Department come up with a design, and hopefully that'll straighten that out.
Blows up every third car, or no? But so that's the big project. You're wrapping up several small projects right now.
Absolutely. We have walkways still ongoing to the houses, connecting the sidewalk to the houses. We're going to try to nail a few of those before the weather sets in here.
Okay.
We have some ongoing projects on Walnut Street for patching. There's a small section on South Walnut Street. We just did some patching down at the access road into where the dog pound is.
Yep.
And that parking lot's been paved. So we're trying to close them up.
The new shelter is just, I'll tell you, it's a nice experience. We plug it every week here. And again, you know, the shelter, just so you know, is 100% built, operated, maintained on donations. But the road belongs to the town, so the town maintains the road, and the town did a fine, fine job as usual. You guys, you know,
we didn't have much to work with.
The workers in this town, they do a beautiful job, and we've talked about that since, you know, since this show's, you know, initiated quite a while ago. And, you know, the craftsmanship out of the town workers is very good, and it's not limited to your department, but we're talking about your department, so.
Yeah, there's a good group of guys down there.
Yeah, no, it's
really
nice. They take a lot of pride in what they do.
Absolutely.
Now, everyone's favorite subjects, snow removal. So we had a
My
test
favorite.
run. Oh yeah, your test run. Real quick, people, and this happens, and we try to go through this every year, is after like the first or second large snowstorm, and then they hear that your budget's running low, and how could that be? So we just want to write, and this is for those of you who weren't paying attention. You know, you got to understand, the snow removal budget doesn't start when the snow starts. The snow removal budget starts well in advance of that, while you're still in your pool and grilling your hot dogs. Mark's crew is busy. They're purchasing sand and salt. Okay, and there's a method to that. It's not, you just can't, it's not like, you know, going out and buying a bag of grass seed. Salt is ridiculous, to say the least, on how you get it.
We started preparations in August, going through the equipment. So we're dealing with purchases of replacement equipment, parts and whatnot.
Cutting edges on plows,
Correct.
cylinders.
Yeah. Mike Ahern at the Public Buildings Special Projects Division has done some repairs to our salt shed.
Which, it needed some repair.
Needed it. It's about 18, 19 years old. So we had to replace some T111 and create a push wall. So he just finished that project. We're going to start loading the salt shed sometime next week with about 900 tons of rock salt. And I believe the current bid price on that is about $39 a ton.
Right.
So it gets very expensive, and that's before we even spread it on the road.
And you just can't go buy rock salt either, right? No. You have to, because the state seems to regulate that, or they take theirs first.
The state has been known to, in emergency situations, to place state troopers at salt piles and
Shoot
seize
to
the
kill?
pile. Well, they seize the pile for state yards and basically hold back from us.
So a lot of times it's not a question of money. It's just it's a question of availability.
Yeah.
So we're well stocked with sand. We will be well stocked with salt.
Correct.
Okay, and depending on the winter, you may or may not need more.
That's correct. And I just step back a second on the sand. We actually have a program in town. We're running straight salt probably 99% of the time. It's more effective, less dust. We do keep sand on hand for certain situations where we want to cut in a little bit of sand just for some traction. One of those is if we run low on salt, which hasn't happened in several years. So.
Right. So no, you've done a good job keeping up with that. And roughly how many pieces of equipment on a major snow event does the town have at its disposal?
As of today, we have 40 pieces.
Okay.
There's 25 contractors and 15 town vehicles, and they all run on every snowstorm. The only time is if we have a little bit less than 3 inches, and we have the time before, like off a Saturday or Sunday, we'll get out there and we'll scrape it, and that saves the town money. But it's all timing.
Yeah, rather than bringing in the contractors and the bigger
Correct.
equipment. Now, you do have enough big equipment if we have substantial snow?
We do.
Okay, so you're not waiting, where the smaller trucks are more or less sidelined and you're waiting for, some bigger equipment. So you have that available?
We have 15 10-wheel dump trucks and triaxles.
Okay, so
That's more than adequate.
Serious equipment.
Correct.
Okay, so we just wanted to go over that, and then now the people should the people be out painting bullseyes on their mailbox, or? You guys get a bad rap over
We
there.
can hit them without the bullseye being on.
Yeah.
No. Unfortunately, it's a very hard thing to plow a road and get the snow all the way to the gutter when there's a mailbox there. There is a lot of our plows, the bigger trucks, are designed to not only throw the snow but to lift it.